Multiple hospitals across Arizona announced new restrictions as COVID-19 cases spike.
Plus, a look at Sky Harbor's latest efforts to keep travelers safe this holiday season.
And later this half hour on Break It Down, how Black women are helping to shape politics today.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Mackenzie Ellen Charmley.
And I'm Dylan McKim. Thank you for joining us.
Arizona has now surpassed 300,000 coronavirus cases. According to health officials, that's an increase of over 2,600 from yesterday, with no additional deaths. So far this month, the state is averaging over 2,000 new cases a day. As for the United States, there are now 3 million cases of COVID-19 in the month of November alone, and deaths have ticked up to the highest rate since May. The spike in cases is also leading to a concerning jump in hospitalizations related to the virus. According to the COVID Tracking Project, more than 83,000 people across the country are battling the coronavirus in a hospital, the most the country has seen since the pandemic began.
With many travelers preparing for the Thanksgiving holiday, Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport is now offering COVID-19 testing to ensure passenger safety. Sean Rice is standing by to explain the express check process. Sean?
In conjunction with the City of Phoenix Aviation Department, the Express Spa Group has announced a new COVID-19 testing facility that will open at Sky Harbor Airport. The testing site will be widely available to passengers as they start or end their air travel. The facility is located within the Drugs and More store before going through security in Terminal 4, Level 3. The COVID-19 testing options will include rapid tests and blood antibody tests. Express Spa will have 6 separate testing rooms with the ability to administer over 400 tests per day. And if someone tests positive at the site, they'll be notified and placed on a no-travel list by the Transportation Security Administration. The testing site is the first of its kind at Sky Harbor. It follows in the footsteps of testing sites at airports in Boston, Newark, and New York.
We work with a local lab, and we have leading-edge technology that allows passengers and employees here in the airport to register in a HIPAA-compliant portal where you can get your results in your file. They'll be electronically distributed at the end, and then you have a document that you can print or come to us for printing to return to work with your employer or to provide an airline, depending on the destination that you're going to.
Express Spa does accept insurance and will have Federal CARES Act funding through the end of December to supplement the cost of testing for those that do not have medical coverage. All travelers, airport employees, and members of the public can book their testing appointments in advance at expresscheck.com, or you can walk in from Thursday to Monday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. In the studio, Sean Rice, Cronkite News.
As COVID-19 case numbers rise, hospitals are changing their visitor policies. Last night, Banner Health reinstated its no visitor policy at all of its Arizona locations. Banner Health said in a press release, quote, "To create a safe and secure environment for our patients and our healthcare workers during the COVID-19 outbreak, visitors will no longer be allowed in any Banner Health location in Arizona. This mandate includes outpatient and ambulatory locations as well, such as urgent cares, surgery centers, clinics, imaging centers, and occupational health services locations. However, there are 4 explicitly stated exceptions to the restrictions. Children can bring guardians, mothers in labor may have 1 support person, people with disabilities who require assistance may designate a support person to accompany them, and end-of-life visitations will be accommodated."
Doctors are urging people whose results come back negative to still be careful and to remember the incubation period can be up to 14 days. They say when you first get exposed to the coronavirus, your levels are pretty low, and then they rapidly increase over the first 5 days.
Let's say yesterday I was exposed. If I go get tested today, I won't be positive. But in 2 or 3 days, I might turn positive and I will start being infectious and spreading it even before I have symptoms.
Also important to note, the kind of test you get can make a difference, but there are some things to consider there too.
So the antigen tests we know have real issues with false negatives. The PCR test the line between positive and negative is kind of inconclusive. And so you heard early on in the pandemic when people would test negative and then they test positive again. And that's because their viral load might be just going above and below that line.
At the end of the day, both doctors agree testing is not perfect.
The 2019 data from the U.S. Census Bureau revealed poverty rates reaching all-time lows. However, because of the pandemic, many people in the valley lost their jobs and are struggling to pay bills. Cronkite News reporter Spencer Hardenberg explains how they can get help.
Xochitl Ayala lost her job during the pandemic.
There was a need of paying, either debating whether to pay a car note or paying my rent.
In September, the U.S. Census Bureau released its 2019 report on poverty, revealing a 10.5% rate nationally, the lowest since estimates were first released in 1959. But this year, the COVID-19 pandemic might lead to different numbers when the census releases the 2020 report.
Mortgage rent.
Nancy Velasco from Chicanos por la Causa says they are prepared to help families in need. They just launched a program for this purpose.
It's an eviction prevention program. It's to help individuals that are affected by COVID-19 as of March 2020.
The financial help covers many areas.
It could be a house, it could be an apartment complex, a rental. And also to keep utilities on. We're helping people with APS, Southwest Gas, SRP, as well as the City of Phoenix Water.
Ayala received assistance from this program.
They helped me with rent and they helped me with electricity. They did cover a little bit over 3 months, which was a great help. Same with electricity, they gave us a credit.
According to the Arizona Commerce Authority, the unemployment rate in the state reached 6.1% in March, then 13.1% by April, and 6.7% in September. Velasco says that is why this program is important, because it is helping families who lost their jobs. In order to qualify, people need to meet some requirements.
Individuals must reside in the City of Phoenix. They had to be legal citizens or residents, have residency status. And then 3, the third and last qualifying factor is that they were impacted negatively, affected financially by the COVID-19 crisis.
The application must be filled out on the Chicanos por la Causa website. Ayala is back to work and feels grateful for all the help.
Just never hesitate to ask for help. The help's out there. It's just reaching out to people.
Spencer Hardenberg, Cronkite News.
While poverty rates have all consistently continued to fall this past decade, experts predict we may see a spike in the 2020 census due to COVID-19's effects on the economy.
It's so frustrating. Watch this.
Coming up next on Cronkite News, Cindy McCain speaks out about why she's feeling so dissatisfied over the 2020 election.
Ready to watch the best of PBS anytime, anywhere, on nearly any device? It's easy with the free PBS Video app. Simply download the PBS Video app on your mobile or streaming device. Now you can watch the latest PBS episodes or catch up on the shows you missed. And when you support your local station, you can get PBS Passport, giving you access to more episodes, more specials, more of what you love. Ready to watch the best of PBS anytime, anywhere, on nearly any device? It's easy with the free PBS Video app. Simply download the PBS Video app on your mobile or streaming device. Now you can watch the latest PBS episodes or catch up on the shows you missed. Discover new favorites from PBS and local content from your PBS station.
Hey, I'm Rick Steves. You know, I don't go anywhere without my passport. And now, thanks to PBS Passport, you can travel with me and watch all 10 seasons of Rick Steves Europe and all my travel specials. This exclusive streaming service is just for our members. Not only can you see all my shows, but you can see thousands of hours of your favorite public television shows. Become a member today and get your passport.
Every day I wake up, my first thought is, how can I serve this community?
The biggest hurdle was not taking PTSD personally.
Would you welcome, please, the amazing.
Everybody that watches this, they say that I am the greatest that they've ever seen.
Here at Cronkite News, we have producers who craft shows that make an impact on our community. Our broadcasts allow students to be involved in all levels of production, from producing to directing. We are guided by highly respected professionals who mentor the journalists of tomorrow. From technical directing to teleprompting and beyond, our production crew works tirelessly to produce meaningful and award-winning shows. We are Cronkite News on Arizona PBS.
As coronavirus cases continue to surge, help is on the way with 2 very promising vaccines. The team at Pfizer saying vulnerable populations could get vaccinated for COVID-19 as early as next month. Dr. Scott Gottlieb, a former commissioner of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, says emergency use authorization would allow for vaccination of seniors in long-term care facilities first. Older adults living at home would come second. And if all goes well, Pfizer could seek approval for broader distribution next year.
I think by the second quarter of 2021, maybe into the third quarter, we'll have a vaccine that hopefully will be licensed for general use. The emergency use authorization will be for a limited population this winter.
He went on to say people might need to get a coronavirus vaccine annually, but those who have already had COVID-19 might not need it.
A grassroots group seeking to force a recall election against Governor Doug Ducey says their movement is picking up traction in the weeks following the election. According to Accountable Arizona, a nonpartisan political action committee, they've seen a 400% increase in donations and an 8-fold increase in volunteers since Election Day. The group's founder told KJZZ he relaunched the effort to recall after observing Ducey's response to the coronavirus surge in Arizona. If the group is able to gather nearly 600,000 signatures by the January 16th deadline, a recall election will be ordered and any qualified candidate will be able to run against Ducey.
With President Donald Trump still refusing to concede the election to President-elect Joe Biden, Senator John McCain's widow is speaking up about how she thinks her late husband would feel about the state of the country right now. Cindy McCain, who endorsed the former vice president and is part of his transition team, told CNN that in addition to supporting the president-elect, her husband would encourage the General Services Administration to release funds so that Biden can get on with his transition. The agency has yet to formally recognize Biden's victory, thus denying him some funds as well as access to some national security tools.
Biden has won. Biden will be our next president of the United States, and it's up to us as voters and participants in our communities to remind people of that.
McCain, who was featured in a video that aired during the Democratic National Convention, leaned heavily into Biden's character and empathy in her endorsement and said she was hoping to reach suburban women who may have been on the fence about who to support. She also appeared in an October ad for the Biden campaign, saying that Biden would always fight for the American people, just like John did.
Up next, cooler temperatures on the way. How low will they dip and when will you need to bundle up? The answer after the break.
Another Cronkite Sports Now. I'm Taylor Rocha. Let's talk sports.
For the latest on local sports and beyond, we've got you covered.
Let's do this thing.
We challenge reporters to go beyond, a game story. We want stories with depth.
It's just a crucial step from the college experience into the professional experience while you're still in school.
At Cronkite Sports Now, watch the journalists of tomorrow cover sports today.
As journalists at Cronkite News, we report on stories that matter to you by focusing on the local impact. We dig deeper and work tirelessly to keep you informed.
Live in Wickerburg.
Live in Los Angeles. In Cleveland. In Washington. In Louisville.
From Jerusalem.
Live in Philadelphia.
From around the world to right here in Phoenix.
At Cronkite News, we report the facts and stick to the truth.
Here we go. Lights up. Whoa.
As artists, we conduct our educations in public. You can never know whether it's going to be a success. One just has to risk it.
It's you and the work and the place. It's a very particular relationship.
Here's our lens. Tell us what you think.
Friday night at 9 on Arizona PBS.
Ready to watch the best of PBS anytime, anywhere, on nearly any device? It's easy with the free PBS Video app. Simply download the PBS Video app on your mobile or streaming device. Now you can watch the latest PBS episodes or catch up on the shows you missed. Discover new favorites from PBS and local content from your PBS station.
Here we go. Lights up. Whoa.
As artists, we conduct our educations in public. You can never know whether it's going to be a success. One just has to risk it.
It's you and the work and the place. It's a very particular relationship.
Here's our lens. Tell us what you think.
Friday night at 9 on Arizona PBS.
Ready to watch the best of PBS anytime, anywhere, on nearly any device? It's easy with the free PBS Video app. Simply download the PBS Video app on your mobile or streaming device. Now you can watch the latest PBS episodes or catch up on the shows you missed. And when you support your local station, you can get PBS Passport, giving you access to more episodes, more specials, more of what you love.
If you're planning to follow the CDC guidelines and host your Thanksgiving celebration outside in Arizona this week, the weather forecast is in your favor. While we're starting the week in the 80s, by Turkey Day, we'll hit a high of just 73 degrees. This comes just after a week of hitting record highs. On Monday and Tuesday, we reached a high of 92, and on Wednesday, we hit 88 degrees.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thank you for joining us.
CronkiteNews.azpbs.org